Cancer knocked me down, but not out. Now, I'm cancer-free. The recovery, it's been tough. I'll need patience, a lot of humor.
Beware of them aggregators.
And support from friends and family. Over the last 2 years, I haven't played much golf, but there's no better place to get back in the game than on 66 courses in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. We're keeping score, but just teeing it up means I've already won.
Look at there, the big man's on the board.
Join me on my journey to break par. Reese Jones designed a beauty here at Arcadian Shores, but man, I've got my work cut out for me on this hole. Got to get it over the hill on this tee shot to avoid having too long of an approach. And that one's all carry, with a big pond between you and the green. Birdie might be a tall order here, but let's see what we got.
So I was texting last night with Reese Jones. Yeah, that Reese Jones. He's a golf architect royalty. So Reese has only done 27 golf courses that have either hosted major championships or international team competitions like the Ryder Cup, the President's Cup, the Solheim Cup. He knows how to build one of these. This is Arcadian Shores in North Myrtle Beach. It's one of his first golf courses. He told me last night, yeah, that one had a nice long run in the top 100. It's one of my favorite places, and this is a great hole, number 13. Peels around to the left. I'm gonna hit a fairway metal here. Try and get a little draw working. I can make that work. They ain't joking about this around here. Beware of them aggregators. We got some that are 30, 40 feet around here. I've seen them jump up in the top of trees. You guys, when you come here to North Myrtle Beach and play golf in Arcadian Shores, you're not safe anywhere. Might be exaggerating a little bit. Just a little. Beware of them aggregators.
So I was probably 10 years old the first time I played this golf course. And this hole that we're playing here, number 13, it was awesome because I remember my dad had a bet with the guys that were playing behind us. He missed a putt here. He threw his putter in the water. I grew up thinking you're supposed to throw clubs because of that. Ruined forever. Thanks, Dad. Wonder if that putter's still here. Probably rusted out.
All right, so here's the deal. I'm just in the right rough. I don't know if you can notice or not, but I'm playing off a little bit of a downhill lie. A couple things are gonna happen here. I gotta get a little more weight on my left side because I wanna swing down the slope. I don't wanna swing up across it. And this 9-iron, well, it basically gets turned into an 8-iron. Ball goes a little farther off a downhill lie, a little shorter off an uphill lie. Uh-oh, that one didn't go far enough. It's all right, I've got an amazing short game. Sometimes.
Ow, that hurt.
I'm lucky that one stayed dry. Uh-oh, a little bit of work left with that. Some people still leave that pin in. I never liked it in. I always thought if you're trying to put it in a hole, you want as little stuff as possible in that hole. There we go. Nice little ugly par. I'm just trying to keep up with old man par.
Those aggregators can't keep me down. Par's a good score here. Let's take some of the momentum up the road and see how we do next at one of Myrtle Beach's top golf resorts. Man, Tom Fazio throws the kitchen sink at you on this one. You got water, you got waste bunkers, you got regular bunkers, you got trees. All right, let's take a breath. It's a par 5, which means we've got a chance at birdie. there's plenty of room to land your tee shot safely in the fairway, so let's get her done and see where we go from there.
So this is one of my favorite spots in all of Myrtle Beach. This is the Barefoot Resort. We're actually up in North Myrtle Beach. And the folks here, well, they've only got 4 golf courses, and they use Pete Dye, Greg Norman, Tom Fazio, and Davis Love. Yeah, that's all they got here. That's all they got here, folks. People ask me, so what's your favorite at Barefoot? And I always say, you gotta have the Asiago cheese dip. I'm telling you what, it is the best cheese dip you'll ever have in your life. One bite of that, your toes curl up, your eyes roll back in your head. As for the golf courses, there's not a weak link here. You're gonna have to play them all and decide which one you like. This is a Fazio course, the 7th hole, par 5. I'm gonna try to do this. Bunker right, bunker left. I wanna get somewhere in the middle of those two. Woohoo! Just like I used to do it, except 50 yards shorter. I mean, that Asiago cheese dip, it's unbelievable. So people ask me all the time, what's your favorite course at Barefoot Resort? And I always say, well, it's sort of like trying to figure out who has the best fried chicken. Is it Chick-fil-A? Is it Bojangles? Is it Popeyes? Is it Zaxby's? That's a really hard question to answer. Who has the best hamburgers? Is it Wendy's? Is it Burger King? Is it In-N-Out? Is it Five Guys? I don't know. That's a really hard question to answer. I mean, hell, I like all of them. Is it sort of like, who has the best fried fish? Is it Captain D's or Long John Silver's? Well, that's a little easier to answer because there's only 2 of those, but I like both of them. Who's got the best ice cream? Is it Haagen-Dazs? Is it Mayfield? Is it that place where they mix it all up together? What's the other ice cream? I can't even think of the other ice cream, but I don't know. They're all good. I like them all. 253 yards. All right, so here's the deal. My GPS on the cart says I got 253. That's not in the cards off a downhill lie. So I'm gonna lay it up. I gotta hit it somewhere between 170 and 200 yards. That'll get me right in the middle of those bunkers. The goal here is to put this somewhere where they mow the grass. All right, I can live with that. Feeling good about my wedge game. I might just make this next one. It's hard. I mean, it's like if I had 4 kids, who would be my favorite kid? Well, I'd probably figure that out. The one that got a college scholarship, that'd be my favorite. I gotta tell you, the bunkers are really cool here. The Fazio course, that's one of the things that's different about each of these golf courses. They all have a different sort of character to them. You've got sand flashed up in the faces, so when you watch them rake these bunkers, there's a GoPro that goes around the bottom, but they got to hand rake them up in the top. It's a little extra maintenance, but boy, does it give a nice look. They're absolutely beautiful. All right, so I got 80 yards. That's a really good number. It's a nice full lob wedge for me. I got 60 degrees on my lob wedge. Got some real aggressive grooving in here. I don't like to hit it more than 80 yards. Let's see what we get. That might be 80 yards. Go in, baby. Yeah, 80 yards, push 6 feet. I got that one. Yeah. 80 yards on the number. I told you it was a full lob wedge for me. You give me 80 yards and a good lie, and I'm gonna put it up there by the hole just about every single time. Find that ball mark too. Always find your ball mark, folks. You want to leave a golf course just as good as you found it. Inside right, I got it. Look at there, the big man's on the board. Take that, Tom Fazio. Bringing your course down today.
Quick, over here. That's where I got my birdie. I'm headed over to the next Barefoot course to get some more. Try to keep up, will ya? Davis Love gives us 3 features on his signature design. A traditional golf course with plenty of low country charm and highlighting elements of his own Carolina's golf experience. If it feels a bit like Donald Ross, it should with its crowned greens. Aiming your approach for the middle of the green regardless of pin placement is never a bad play here.
So we are here in North Myrtle Beach at the Barefoot Resort. Amazing golf facility, 72 holes. They got Pete Dye, they got Greg Norman, they got Tom Fazio. This is the 18th tee on the Davis Love course. That sounds like a pretty familiar name. Yeah, 1996 on the PGA Tour, 3rd round of the Byron Nelson out in Dallas. I was paired with Davis. I beat him by 10 shots. Actually, I did. I shot 61. This Davis Love course here at Barefoot Resort on more than one occasion has been voted the best golf course in Myrtle Beach by the locals. That says a lot. Cool par 5 goes around to the left. Water sits by the green. Let's just cruise it up there. A little around the corner. I might have a chance of getting home in 2 here today. Old man's moving pretty good.
I mean, the 61 I shot, the day I beat Davis Love, that wasn't net, it was gross. It was third round on the PGA Tour. It's actually, he was a par 70 course. That was 9 under. And there's a really nice hotel there, the Four Seasons. My wife was sleeping in that day. It's pretty rare for me to even make the cut, play on Saturday. And they called her in the room. They said, your husband is on 59 watch. He's 3 under with 3 holes to play. You better get out and watch. And she said, obviously you've called the wrong room. Yeah, we're still married 32 years.
I'm just gonna lay up with a 5-iron. A lot of people make the mistake of not picking a target when they hit a layup. Layups are important. I'm aiming at that big pine tree in the distance. Yeah, that one right there, that'll be good. There's nothing worse than hitting a bad layup shot. All right, so here's the deal. I'm right at 115 yards. This is a back hole location. Never hit a hard full shot to a back hole location. You wanna hit something easy. If you hit it easy, it'll fly a little lower, it'll land in the middle of the green and it'll release back. Remember, the harder you swing at the golf ball, the higher it's gonna go, the more it's gonna spin and the quicker it's gonna stop, which is good on the front, but it's no good on the back. That's tracking a little low. Release on back there for me, baby. Might have released a little too much, but that's all right. Off the back, but I'm not too far from the hole. All right, so we got this one a little bit long. I got, I don't know, 6 or 8 feet of green to work with here. A lot of times when you're watching golf on TV, you'll see the pros chip from here. You ain't a pro. You probably got a job. They practice this all day long. Use a putter, there's no shame in it. No problem there. Easy par. Got a little too aggressive with that 3rd shot. Beautiful hole, solid par, I'm good.
Davis Love kept me honest on this hole, but enough of that. We're off to the next Barefoot stop, and it's time to go shark hunting. Who's with me? Check out the waterway views on this beauty. This might be the most recognizable hole on Greg Norman's signature design here at Barefoot, and with good reason. But let's not get too wrapped up in the scenery here. We've still got a golf hole to play. And as you'd imagine, the wind will be a critical factor in choosing which club to play off the tee at this par 3.
So we're in North Myrtle Beach, the Barefoot Resort. Amazing facility, 72 holes here. They got golf courses by Pete Dye, Tom Fazio, Davis Love III, and this beauty by Greg Norman. This is the 10th hole of par 3. Greg, obviously, the shark, is from Australia. He was influenced heavily in his design career by the Sandbelt region around Melbourne. I've been there. It's awesome. Some unbelievable golf courses. A lot of the features that you see there, you see on this golf course. Not much rough, a lot of closely mown areas around the greens, and the bunkers are very distinctive. They've got high, sharp faces with really, really sharp edges going around. They get your attention. Intercoastal waterway over there to the right. We'll try and cruise this 8-iron in here today. Look out, hole. Oh no, I should have hit the 7. Thought I had that one. So this one time on the PGA Tour, back in the last century at Hilton Head, I was paired with Greg Norman on Saturday. It was just me and the shark. And he didn't beat me. I didn't beat him either. So his penalty, the punishment for not beating me, was he had to play with me on Sunday too. And we tied again. I was pretty pumped. Everybody came out to see the shark. Had a lot of family there. I don't think either one of us played very well. It seemed like we both shot 70 both days. But hey, I got a chance to play with the shark. That's better than nothing. Yeah, I pured that one. It's 20 yards short. I think my man Jim over there gave me some bad yardage. All he's got to do is look at the GPS and it tells you how far it is, and he somehow messed that up. I still love you, Jim, but you gave me bad yardage, because I would never miss a shot by that far, ever. Never. His 10th green is super cool. It's a great setting. What's unusual about it, and you'll see that when we get the drone up, is the green actually slopes away from the water. You don't see that very often. Most of the time, greens are always going towards the water. But here it's a little different story. This is one of those closely mown areas I was telling you about. I like it because you got options. You can putt it. You can bump it up through there. Some people use a hybrid. I'm gonna go sort of with this middle wedge. Land it just short. Yeah, whatever I did there worked. Try that, folks. I thought it might have been a little closer than that. I gotta tell you, this is my least favorite putt. I don't like right to lefters. Laying this up on that right edge. When I miss it, I pull. I can't get out of my head. My head's going, you're gonna pull this one. But overcame it with great attitude. Eat your heart out, shark. Tied you again. Short game saves you every time.
On the road again, staying on a northbound track right now. You don't want to miss where we're headed next. On the road again. Water, water everywhere. That's what you'll have here at Colonial Charters, where it comes into play on 16 of the 18 holes. The first hole has it in spades, all up the left side of this par 5, with a heavy line of trees down the right side. But I've got some room to maneuver here, so let's go find the fairway first and see if we can get us a birdie.
Today, we're between Long, South Carolina and Little River, South Carolina, up at the top end of Myrtle Beach. We're at Colonial Charters Golf Club, and it's one of the 21 golf courses that Founders Group International has in their stable. The thing I like about Colonial Charters, especially if you're new to the game, the staff here, they're super friendly, and playing here won't put a big dent in the wallet. I'll tell you what, when you walk up to this first tee, it gets your attention. This is a par 5, and you can see there's water left and trees that come in close on the right. I better have my A game today. That one sucked giant monkey balls.
tell you what, the attitude that I have to deal with some of these guys on the crew, I don't know. It's really hard dealing with this. I mean, they make fun of me, they call me fat. I just got called old right there. I think I'm gonna cry. Okay, so that T-ball that I hit here at Colonial Charters was so bad, it actually landed left of the water and kicked right into the water that's on the left. That's how bad it was. The good news is, it's because I hit a bad shot. Doesn't mean I'm a horrible person. I just hit a bad shot. It could happen to anybody, especially on the first hole. All right, so let me give you an update. After that horrible tee shot that went in the penalty area, which used to be a hazard, now it's a penalty area, I'm gonna take my drop. Used to drop like that, and then it was like that. Now it's like from the knee. I think this was the best way to drop, but I wasn't consulted by the USGA. All right, so we're dropping. I'm so far back, what I'm gonna have to do is make a nasty par for you here. This is my third. We're gonna scrape it up there in that fairway, try and wedge it close, make a old school par. All right, that's perfect. Got to check and see if this is my stroke hole. I'm guessing it's probably not. God, I'm still mad about that tee shot. They got all these ducks around here. I think it's duck mating season. That's always pretty loud. These folks got a nice pool over there. They don't have a Traeger like mine, or a big green egg. I'd like to get some of these ducks on that big green egg. All right, so I got about 55 yards here. Remember, I lie one in the leg, one out, two out, three here, so I lie three. I got to get up and down for par. And this is about a 55-yard shot. I like to sort of think about throwing it with my right hand. A lot of people try and take their hands out of their short game. I think that's a mistake. I think get all your feel with that right hand. Right there. All right, I got a fighting chance in my par from there. I pull that. I hate when I pull it. Hit the right distance though, or close to the right distance. That's one of the things that I did. I played this game professionally. These shots 40 to 110 yards. I keep a shag bag of the balls I played with, and I set these little marking cones out. 10-yard intervals from 40 to 110 yards. I'd hit 10, 10, 10. I'd work my way out and then work my way back. I'd do that for hours, maybe an hour. I'd do that for minutes. It was great, but I still have pretty good touch today. So I told you I pulled it a little bit, but if you get the right distance, even if you're a little bit off on your right and left, you're not going to be too far from the hole. We call that in these parts, I got my furs right, but my towards was a little off. You want to get in close, you got to get your furs and your towards adjusted just right. All right, let me see what we got here. Got a little left to right. Oh, no way. How did that not go in? That was going to be an amazing par. Let's see if I can get my focus back. Gah. Nothing worse than golf. It's really bad. Robbed, I tell ya. Okay, time to get over it. I'm headed back south a bit and see what we can do on a couple of Great Maples tracks. Like a superhero today? Just make sure it's not Aquaman. This Dan Maples beauty, of course, plays into, out of, and around an 80-acre lake. And check out how the finishing hole features it. Pretty spectacular. But don't let all this water get inside your head. This hole is a great chance to end your round with a circle on the scorecard. Let's go get it.
Today we're at Man O' War Golf Club right in the middle of Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. This is a Dan Maples designed golf course. And let me tell you something, when you come on property, a couple things really stand out. First off, this golf course is in really nice shape. Secondly, they actually have bent grass greens here. That's something that's not only unusual for the Myrtle Beach area, but for the entire Southeast. And believe me, they keep these greens rolling really great all year round. And then finally, there's plenty of water here. It comes into play on 12 holes and you can see water from all 18. This is the 18th hole, it's a par 5. Let me see if I can get one in the fairway. Maybe, just maybe, I can get home in 2 here. That's definitely gonna be in the go zone, baby. Man, I'll tell you what, this golf course is in good shape. They do a heavy overseed here, which is nice. And a lot of places will spray the ryegrass out early, but they just let it grow. I think it looks great. The other thing I'll tell you, the staff here, they really care about this golf course. This morning when I got here just a little before 6:30, there was a staff member that had a bucket and he was walking around in the parking lot picking up cigarette butts and other things that get blown around at golf courses. You don't see that every day. 6:30 in the morning, hand picking up trash that's in the parking lot. Cool place. You gotta love when you have folks that work for you that pay that much attention to detail. And it shows. All right, looks to me like I got about 230 left. Got a good lie here in the fairway. Uh-oh. Y'all check this out. I love it when this happens. Right by my ball here, I got a little feather. Is it an eagle feather or just a regular bird? I don't know, let's see. Love it when I got a feather by my golf ball. Little right. Hang on, baby. I'm gonna make an eagle, I'm gonna have to chip in. I gotta tell you, I was a little disappointed in that one. Let's try to hit me a medium high butter cut. And that's what I did, but I started it right. Right to right's no good. I can't stand hitting it right to right. Where's that yellow tater? Oh yeah, I'm good to go. All right. I got a good lie down here in the swell. Got a decent amount of green to work with. Get this thing on the ground quick, rolling like a putt. I pulled it. Hang on. All right, I got that one. There's just something about bent grass. This is what I grew up putting on right here. Bent grass in the Southeast. In the summertime, you know, it can get a little bit slow, but these are great speed. Watch how smooth this rolls. Yeah, baby. Make sure y'all write that down. That's a birdie for Rymer. That's birdie for Rymer, R-Y-M-E-R. There's more where that came from too. Maybe.
Now that's more like it. We're gonna keep my tally in the red numbers, folks. Now watch me go next door and do just that in the next episode. Let's head across the pond, shall we? In this case, we're going from sister course Man O' War to its next door neighbor at the Wizard. And what a finishing hole we have here. A par 4 with plenty of length and a forced carry over water to a peninsula green. It's the perfect conclusion to a golf experience that gives you a one-of-a-kind Scottish feel from start to finish.
So I'm standing on the 18th tee at the Wizard Golf Club, and this is a magical place. See what I did there? The crew, they loves it. They love it. They're dying right now. All right, let me get back on track. We are centrally located right in the middle of Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. This golf course was designed by Dan Maples. He's a legend among architects. And what he tried to pull off here is giving this golf course a Scottish Highlands feel, and he certainly did that. There are some really cool places here with some big sand mounds that are covered with vegetation. It looks a lot like gorse. And oh yeah, the clubhouse, it's a really cool castle. And the most important part, bent grass greens here. That's a rarity in Myrtle Beach and also pretty much anywhere in the southeast, and they're always in very good shape. This is the 18th, it's a par 4. I'm gonna go to the left edge of the castle. That's A+ right there. I know I'm casting a spell on you out here today. Look a lot like Harry Potter, don't I? So this 18 hole is really cool. They got a castle. I like that castle. I played some golf in Scotland and Ireland where you play out of a castle like that. It's always a lot of fun. If you're on a golf course and they got a castle, you're in a special place. It's really neat how Man-O-War is just across the lake. And it has obviously, I don't know what you'd call that theme, marina type theme. And then the castle right here, they look at each other. Golf course is by the same designer, Dan Maples, who's really done some creative work in different places all over the years. Great design family, the Maples family. So not my best drive here. Got a little underneath it, caught it up in the heel, peeled off into the wind, something like that. It's leaving me about 190 yards, got a good line in the right rough. I'm gonna ignore that flag. I'm gonna go right in the middle of this green. Get up a little, baby. Ooh, I hope it went in that bunker. Went in that bunker, I'm gonna show you how good I am. See, I got all of these wedges in here, 4 of them. I got a long bunker shot. The mistake that people make is they always grab their lob wedge, 60 degrees, hit a bunker shot. No. I'd have to swing so hard at that if I hit it thin, it'd be out of here. This bunker shot I got that's long like this, I'm gonna go with my 50, and that's gonna allow me to get the distance I need without having to swing really hard at it. Almost hit it fat on purpose and let it come out low and run some. Don't be using your lob wedge all the time out of these bunkers. Might hurt somebody if you do that. All right, when you go in a bunker, take the rake with you. And always walk in the low point. Don't ever try to climb across a bunker face. You do a lot of damage to the golf course if you do that. So this is a long bunker shot. I'm sitting down a little bit. I got my 50. I'm gonna almost try and hit it fat on purpose. Come out low and it'll make it run. See, that's gonna get all the way up to the hole. If I'd have played that same shot with my lob wedge, I'd be swinging so hard at it, it just wouldn't be very comfortable. I got another tip for you. When you park your cart way up there and you come in to hit a shot, don't do like I did. I forgot my putter, now I gotta walk back and get it. That's not good. So they, whoever they is, always say, let's break towards water. I'm on a peninsula green, there's water everywhere. So that theory sort of goes out here. What I like to do is imagine this green had 2 or 3 feet of water on it. You pull the plug, which way would it drain? It looks to me like that water would drain right through here, so I'm guessing this putt's got just a touch of left in it. A little more left in it than I thought, but I got the general break right, and that's all right. Every now and then it's okay to make a bogey. This is a good hole right here, especially when it plays into the wind like it was today. So I can live with that.
Okay, back down to earth. That's all right. We'll get them next time. Come on along as we head up near the state line for our next stop. they've got me on the toughest hole here at a beautifully conditioned golf course. This par 4 has actually been modified a bit in recent years, adding some fairway landing area for your tee shot that reduced the size of the water hazard that runs across it. Thank you, but I'm still gonna need to have my A game on this one though.
So today I'm right on the North Carolina, South Carolina line. We're near Calabash, North Carolina. This is Meadowlands Golf Club, and boy, is it a beauty. This would be a dream day for me. 18 in the morning, 9 in the afternoon, roll into one of these seafood buffets over here in the village at Calabash in the afternoon, a couple hours grazing. What a perfect day right there. Now let me talk to you about this golf course a little bit. I was just hanging out in the clubhouse with some guys that just got finished playing. I said, what do you like about Meadowlands? They said, man, those greens are good. It's Tiff Eagle Bermuda, and they are absolutely perfect. A couple things I like about the golf course. Number one, it's got some room off the tee. I can spray it a little bit off the tee. I like a golf course that's got a little bit of room. The other thing is the conditioning here is absolutely perfect. This is a signature hole, long par 4. They send me out here to play the number 1 handicap hole. Let's see what we get. I saw a splash and a bounce. The bounce came after the splash. That's good. How you doing? Nice horn. So when I was doing the on camera to start this show, I forgot what hole we were on. I couldn't remember if it was number 3 or number 4. So when I did the on camera, I just said this is number 1 handicap hole. I didn't say what hole it was because it would have been 50-50. I didn't know. Was it 3 or was it 4? So when I do camera work, I always try to make sure that I'm accurate or I just ignore something. In this case, I just basically ignored it. But it is in fact number 3. I know that now. And it's the number 1 handicap hole. You got to carry water off the tee, you got to carry water off the green. Woo, I got a long ways left for this one. All right, boys, here's what we got. It did hit some water, and I am in the right rough. I thought it hit that pond, but this is what we got right here. So, I left myself just about 200 yards into the wind. I could lie and say 4 iron, but I'm not quite feeling it. So I'm going with my 5 wood, my weak 5 wood. It's almost like a 6 wood. Little in front of it. Giddy up, baby. I didn't see a splash. I think it's a little right. Remember, this is the number 1 handicap hole, number 3. It's my shot hole. I tried to take a little too much off of that one. I think at my age, I shouldn't try to take too much off of anything. Man, what a pretty place. We're just into North Carolina, but it's amazing how different it feels here. Something about the maturity of the pine trees. You get on the south end of Myrtle Beach, which is 70 miles away, and it's got more of that low country feel. North Carolina coast, it feels just a little bit different. You know, you start getting a little closer to Pinehurst, and these pines get that texture like you get at Pinehurst. Really beautiful place. All right, I got a pretty easy pitch over here. Cool thing about this green is sort of a bowl down in the front, and today it's in the bowl. The other thing I want to point out is when you look at that grass on the green, it gets a little slick. So that tells me the grain is going that way. So this will be a little faster than maybe it would be otherwise. All right, let's see what we got. Oh, come on. So this whole location is in a little bowl. I got some slope coming in here. If you're not careful, you don't see the slope coming in right here. I actually think that slope coming in on the left is going to have more impact than the slope coming in on the right. You know what that means? Left center chicken dinner. Well, I had a great theory on that, but I was very wrong. That slope pushed it that way. Well, that's all right. Every now and then, a man can be wrong and make a bogey. But you know what? Even though I made bogey, I can't think of a place I'd rather be than right here at Meadowlands. Beautiful place.
Uh-oh, that's 2 bogeys and 2 holes. Got to get that turned around and quick. I'm not done with Calabash just yet on this trip. Let's see what we've got on the next stop. This one's not for the faint of heart, or for the slicer either. See that lake running along the entire right side? Yeah, you know what side we'll want to favor off the tee here. But it'll add some length to our second shot, and that one will play right back toward the water. Buckle up, folks. We're in for a fun ride.
Today I'm at the top end of the Grand Strand, Calabash, North Carolina. And I know what you're thinking. Seafood, yeah, they got that here, especially those fried up little baby shrimp. I've had my share of those. If you've never tried them, they're awesome. But if you come to Calabash, they've also got some great golf here as well. This is Crow Creek, a beautiful golf course. It's challenging, it's fun, but what really stands out here is the conditioning of the golf course. It's absolutely in perfect shape. And check out the greens. Bent grass, a rarity in this part of the world and in the entire southeast, as a matter of fact. I love the way bent grass rolls, and they keep these rolling great all year round. This is a par 4 fourth. Obviously you don't want to go right. I'm going to take driver. Let me see if I can cruise this up there. That left side is nice and dry. No chance that was going in the water. All right, so here's the deal. I was a little worried about that lake on the right. I'm over here in the left rough, but I got a decent angle. I like how there's a top tier here. I got about 85, 90 yards. I'm trying to hit this a little low. Maybe run it back there a little bit. It's got a chance to be pretty good right there. Go on in there and get you some, big fella. Good birdie time. I tell you what, it's really nice coming to a golf course where you see them investing. They're spending some money in it. They believe in golf, and they should. I mean, it's a golf capital of the world. Here at Crow Creek, you can really tell there's been a lot of thought and care going into maintaining this golf course. Makes you feel good to come out and play a course like this, especially when you're making birdies. All right, guys, here's the deal. Most people, when they play golf, they take a cart, right? And you're talking to your buddy, you drive up, you're not paying any attention to the green until you actually get on the green. That's why you don't read putts very well. You gotta play golf with your head up, looking at the golf course, getting a good feel of what that putt's gonna do before you actually get to it. Because if you just pop up here, sort of out of nowhere, you don't have any idea what the contour of this green is. If you pay attention, you'll figure it out. This putt right here for birdie, this is what I call left center chicken dinner. Atta, baby, get some of that. Got to get her all the way in the bottom. There you go. Not eating crow here at Crow Creek. I'm eating other kinds of bird.
Bird is the word, folks. Glad to get back in the red numbers. Let's ride the wave as we head on back to the beach. Par 5s are usually great opportunities, but it's hard to argue with a par on this one. The 13th really demands a well-placed tee shot to manage the forced carry on the second. Then it's an uphill shot from there with an elevated green guarded by that big front left bunker. Let's see if we can conquer this one with a solid birdie.
Today, we are smack dab in the middle of Myrtle Beach. This is the Grande Dunes Resort Course, and it is centrally located. This golf course has been ranked among the top 100 public golf courses in the entire country. And let me tell you what, after some recent renovations to the golf course and upgrades to the clubhouse, this is a premier facility. This is the 13th hole. It's a par 5, lays sort of straight away. It's got some width to it. This hole is gettable, and I'm feeling it today. I got it covered. I got it covered like a rat on a Cheeto. Yes, that's fine. Who doesn't like Cheetos? I'll tell you what I've learned though. Flaming hot Cheetos, they're really good, but don't pick your nose after you've been eating them. No, sir, that ain't no good at all. This is my first hole of the day, and I didn't do so good with it. Takes me a little while to warm up. Well, that one's gonna be a little out of range. I gotta carry some water here. I'm gonna go with the old trusty 5-wood. A lot of people like that hybrid. I gotta tell you, I wouldn't kill a snake with a hybrid. Giddy up, baby. Oh yeah, we're cooking with grease now. See, hybrids, they go high and left, and they bounce off of houses. That's not good for your handicap. All right, let's get after it, boys. I actually had one of the first hybrids I ever saw. It was a company from Japan called PRGR. That thing looked like a big peanut on the end of a stick. And I did this thing down in South Florida, and I was playing golf with Greg Norman. And I hit it a few times, and he's like, Charlie, what is it? What is that? It's a peanut on a stick. And I said, Greg, it's a new kind of club. It's gonna kill it. And he said, let me hit it a few times. So he grabbed it. This is Greg Norman we're talking about, the Shark. And he hit it a few times, because this is the worst club I've ever seen in my life. Nobody's ever gonna buy a club like this. He's like, what do they call it? And I said, a hybrid. He goes, that'll never work. Shark, you were wrong. I think they sold a few of those. We got a little dew. We got a little dirt on that golf ball. None of that bothers me, though. Be right, baby. Maybe some of that bothered me a little bit. See, I had a little dirt, a little water. Supposed to fill up the grooves, take the spin off, go farther. It just didn't. I really don't know what's in a Cheeto. I mean, a cheese puff, which is what my drive was like there. Used to hit a driver and it would crack. Now it sounds like a cheese puff. The cheese puff's like air. Well, what's the rest of it? I think cheese puffs are fried and Cheetos are baked. That's why I go with the Cheetos, because they're baked. I'm a baked kind of guy. Y'all check this out. It's a sort of a magical time of day if you got those cameras on. I love it when the dew's out. I thought I hit my wedge pretty good there. See if we can get lucky. Let's see if we can get lucky. Whoa, that felt good for a long ways right there. That's an ugly par right there. But pars aren't ever bad.
Not bad at all, actually. Now we're off to the next stop, headed just around the corner for a trip around the world. Can't get too caught up in tribute here because this recreation of Arnold Palmer's 11th hole at Bay Hill commands your attention right off the bat. Water running all the way up the left side suggests a tee shot to the right, but not too far right because there's bunkers protecting the dogleg. Which way do I go?
So if you ever wanted to play, let's say, number 12 at Pine Valley or number 12 at Augusta National, yeah, I know you have. Well, this is your best chance here in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina at World Tour Golf Links. It's a super cool place. They have replica holes from the greatest golf course in the world. And today, we're on the 9th hole of the Championship 9. This is a replica of Arnold Palmer's Bay Hill Lodge. Yep, home of the Arnold Palmer Invitational. The 11th is one of the toughest holes down there. You got to squeeze it between the water on the left, the bunkers on the right. Let's see if we can get it in play here. We'll try and move her a little left to right, from the water to the right. Oh yeah, that's going to be pretty good right there. Get some of that. That's why they call me the big timer. Big timer, baby. Woohoo! The big timer. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo. I got all of that one. Yeah! I've been struggling so much with my driver. I had a little thought before I hit that one. I said, I'm gonna try to keep this left arm tucked in and make sure I swing to the left. So if you're gonna hit a cut, you gotta start to the left. See, if you start it to the right and hit a cut, that's when you bounce it off of condos and houses and water and other golfers and stuff. And that's not good. You gotta start it left, so I'll just tuck it right in, right there. Woo, that worked. That one felt good. It's a hard hole too. That's right down the middle. See, we've been driving a long time and we hadn't got to it yet. Where is that ball? Where is it? Oh yeah, we're good. Yeah, I got all of that one. Man, I struggle with my driver. It's fun when I hit one good. So this 11th hole at Bay Hill. I was fortunate to play that tournament a few times. I never played very well. But I'm gonna tell you what, it might be the hardest golf course on the planet. The wind was always blowing, greens were firm. Mr. Palmer wanted to play tough. Hole locations were tough. They got all these ridges running through the greens and it'd be right on top of a ridge. In fact, one year I played right behind Mr. Palmer and it's like all of Orlando turned out to watch him play. He's signing autographs. He gave away his hat. He gave away his sweater. I'm pretty sure it's cashmere. He was definitely cashmere. All right, I got about 125 here. It's a back hole location. See if we can get all the way back there. That might be pretty good right there. Be right, baby. Yeah. Yeah, that's a flashback right there. You know, people used to pay big money to see that. Big money. That's me right in there close by the hole. Did you hear all the people clapping when I hit that one? Sounded just like that when I played the PGA Tour. Because except for one time when I played golf with Greg Norman, actually 2 times, nobody ever followed me except for friends and family. I got used to the silence. See if we can get a birdie here. Yeah, check, this might be my stroke hole. Yeah. Somebody clapped. I heard them. Thank you. Did you hear that? It was a big roar. Big man made a birdie. Ah, that's still fun to make a birdie. Still fun, especially on a great hole like this. Fun just to be out here. Mark that down, Jim. Birdie. 9th hole. World Tour Golf Links. Number 11. Bay Hill brought it to its knees.
Add another red number to the card, baby. Let's keep this birdie train a-running as we head off to our next stop. We're off to the campus golf home of the Chanticleers. Their football field is blue, but the golf course is a perfect green. The Hackler Course at Coastal Carolina eases us into their back nine with a short par 3 and a chance to go low. There's some water running up the right side, but plenty of wiggle room next to the green once you clear that water. Let's get after it.
So you've probably heard of Coastal Carolina University's football program. Boy, have they come up big in the last few years. Also have a great baseball program and men's and women's golf as well. In fact, my buddy David Duvall, his son Brady, is coming to school here at Coastal Carolina. And why not have a great golf program here in the golf capital of the world? We're on campus. This is the Hackler Golf Course. It's known by locals as always being in excellent shape. This is a par 3 10th. I got about 145 yards, a little downwind. I'm gonna see if I can cruise this 9-iron in there. Be right, baby. All right, I think we're gonna be putting for birdie. I like marine biology, big whales and stuff. Last time I went to the beach here in Myrtle Beach, Greenpeace showed up and they tried to tow me back out to sea. I don't go to the beach anymore. Well, I tell you what, Coastal Carolina is rocking. Kids come from all over the country to come here. The PGA management program is really cool. You can actually get a degree while you're getting your membership in the PGA of America, and kids that graduate from that go on to run the business of golf. And the staff is wonderful. Will Mann is a past president of the PGA of America, and he's one of the instructors. And I'll tell you what, it's a super neat place. I'm a proud member of the PGA of America, so nice to see Coastal Carolina coming up big in the world of golf. All right, I thought that was on the green. Looks like I missed just a little bit. I got a cool shot I'm gonna show you. This ball's sitting down in the rough. Some people freak out over that because you can't really putt it. Hey, look at that ball. If you try to putt that ball, it's not going anywhere. So you want to kind of dig it out a little bit, get it running. Boy, this golf course is in good shape. So what I do, and a lot of people don't think about it this way, the angle of the shaft really has an impact on short game. So I'm gonna go almost vertical with the angle. That's gonna get the toe down, and I can pick this ball right out of that grass with the toe. I'll land it just a little short and it'll run up there. See how I go vertical? I'll put a putting grip on there. I'll catch that ball right there, and that way just a little bit of this club's got to go through the grass. Putting stroke on it. There we go. Try that next time. Go up with the angle. Just a little bit of the club goes through the grass. Takes that resistance away. Putting stroke. Get it up there, get your tap in, make your par, move on to the next great hole.
No birdie at the home of the Chanticleers, but no worries. We're staying in Conway for our next stop, and you don't want to miss it.
So everywhere I go, people ask me, they say, Charlie, you're a Myrtle Beach guy, right? And I say, sure. And they say, you know, tell me, the Shaftesbury Glen Golf and Fish Club, how did it get its name? Well, I love telling the story because here's the deal. John Myrtle was actually playing this golf course, which at the time didn't have a name. Naming a golf course is a big challenge, and sometimes it takes a while to get a name. But anyway, John's playing with his son, Glenn Myrtle, and so that would be the great-great-great-grandson and the great-great-grandson of the founder of Myrtle Beach. Ivan Myrtle is founded like in 1763. Anyway, so they're out here playing on this very hole. What happened was John Myrtle hit a bad iron shot here, snapped his club, buried the shaft, right? Just left it there. He goes up to the green, he misses his bogey putt, snaps it, buries the shaft. And that's how they came up with it, because it's Shaftesbury Glen. And the final part, it's also a fish club. His son Glenn said, "That's great, Daddy. You don't have any more clubs. You broke them all. Can we go fishing?" Thus, Shaftesbury Glen Golf and Fish Club. I'll be here all week.
The finishing hole here at Shaftesbury Glen is a straightaway par 4 where you probably want to favor the right side for the best angle in. Pin placement is key on this hole because you got a deep green with 2 sections and it's surrounded by these wild looking bunkers. Buckle up, folks. We're in for a wild ride on this one.
Okay, so we're just a little north of Myrtle Beach. This is Shaftesbury Glen Golf and Fish Club. And I love it when you're at a golf and fish club because these days my fishing seems to be a little better than my golf. But this is a beauty. Architect Clyde Johnston had a dream. He wanted to build an English style golf course out in the English countryside. And the clubhouse here is actually an English manor home. So really pretty neat. I'm guessing maybe you can find some fish and chips around here that goes with the golf course. This is 18th, it's a par 4. Trees come in a little on the left. That's tough for a guy like me that hits a cut. Want to avoid the bunker on the right. You can sort of see a little bit of an English style golf course. Sir Nick Faldo and Elton John would be really comfortable here. All right, let's see what we get here. A little low, but down the middle will be all right. Boy, that makes me mad. I caught that one like right there. Yeah, a little low on the heel. Catch it a little, woohoo! Catch it a little low on the heel. Give up a little bit of distance, but guess what? You can find it. And finding it's the key. Man, this is a pretty place. This golf course in good shape here. Not exactly sure what an English style golf course, what that means. I've only played a few in England. I played Royal Lytham and St. Anne's in a British Open. So I was pretty happy about that. Ow, that pampas grass bites. But if this is English style, then I like it. All right, it looks like I got about 100 yards left. Let's see what we got. That little low heeler ran out pretty good. That's never a bad thing. And I see it now. The English style, really cool how this green is raised up a little bit. And the bunkers sort of finger in there a little bit. I like that. Maybe just a little more than 100. All right, baby. All right, a little bit long, but we'll be okay. If you don't have sand, we're cart path only here today. Always just sort of kick your divot back in a little bit. That'll help it grow back a little quicker. I think I got a pretty long putt up here. Let's go see. Oh, look at the movement in this green. If this was a par 3, we'd call it a Biarritz. I guess you could call it a Biarritz style green. It's got a front, a middle swell, and a back, a lot of depth to it. Boy, there's a lot going on with this putt. I got some down, some flat, some up, some flat. Overall, I think she's gonna play a little bit downhill. Shouldn't be a whole lot of break. Uh-oh, I didn't hit that one. Did not hit that one. I think there's a little more uphill in there than maybe what I thought. One thing I got right was the straight part. I always hate leaving putt short. When you get at the hole, you at least get to see it roll by and get an idea of the slope. I didn't get to see the last part of this. I'm thinking it's left center. I misread that one too. Well, I guess every now and then you're gonna have a 3-putt. What makes me mad about it was on the 18th hole of this beautiful golf course. I'll survive though.
Well, that hole wasn't for the faint of heart. Oh well, saddle up folks, cause we're headed back north for our next stop. Man, they carved out a beauty through this stretch of pine forest. We've got a dogleg left here with a pretty good sized pond guarding the inside of it and some area to the right to land your tee shot. Just don't go too long down that side, because if the trees don't get you, that first bunker will. Let's see what we got.
So this is Crown Park Golf Club. We're in Long, South Carolina, which is a little northwest of Myrtle Beach. And for me, this is sort of nostalgic. I've actually never played this golf course. Hey, I haven't been able to play all of them over the years. It's my first time here, and I absolutely love it. It sort of takes me down memory lane a little bit. I grew up a couple of hours from here in South Carolina, and we would play high school golf back when you could play 18 holes 2 days a week, and we'd tee off at 1 o'clock, which was so cool. So we would get in the team van and we would drive across the state, and there'd be farmland, forest, swamps, black water, pine, and all of a sudden you'd come to a golf course like this. It's just absolutely beautiful. No houses, no out of bounds in play here. A lot of wildlife. I love it. Deer, they got some gator. They've even got some mean wild turkey here. We got a guy on our crew, Jim. For some reason, he's terrified of wild turkey. I've never heard of anybody terrified of wild turkey, but Jim is. But anyway, beautiful place. So this is a 16th hole, not a very long par 4. Got some water left, bunker right. Let's put it where they mow the grass. That'll be just fine. Man, this is a beautiful place. Whole state. Love it. So cool growing up here. Like playing golf in a state park. Well, I'm just inside the fairway here, but there's a few cool things I want to point out. Here in Myrtle Beach, a lot of golf courses, they'll use flag sticks to mark the edges of the penalty areas. That way, if it's the first time seeing the golf course, you got a pretty good idea, hey, I don't want to go over there. And another thing that's really cool, they'll use these striped poles in the middle of the fairway. In this case, there's a 100-yard pole and a 150-yard pole. They offer really good targets, a good way to get yourself around the golf course when you're seeing it for the first time. All right, 130 yards into the wind. That feels like a little 9-iron. Well, I got a problem there. In this part of the world, golf is a two-dimensional game. You see, you got to get your towards right and your furs right. The towards, making sure you're going towards the right way, and the furs are making sure you go the right distance. So my fur was just on right there. The towards was a little off. Y'all think about that for a while. Furs and towards. I was wrong. You see, I thought I had my furs right and my towards wrong. They were actually both wrong. That's why I got this 40-footer. Not much break here. Looks like it's just gonna be a little slow. Come on. A little bit of work here. There we go. Get all the way to the bottom. Another pretty ugly par, but it's at a pretty place.
From Crown Park to the Myrtle Beach, home of the King. That's right, we're off to Myrtle Beach National to take on the first of 3 Arnold Palmer signature tracks.